Assalamu alaikum ikhwa. What I'm just gonna say is Allahumma barik. What you're about to watch is one of our students, alhamdulillah, named Tani, who joined the program, the IMA program, about a year and 4 months ago, Allahumma barik. Since then, alhamdulillah, he managed to make enough money to quit his job. And Allahumma barik, he got to a point where in a single month he made over 40,000 pounds, alhamdulillah, Allahumma barik, from his hard work. From this, he felt complacent and lazy. And now he got to a point where his income went down. He's making about 8,000 pounds a month, Allahumma barik, from the program. Alhamdulillah, it's still good, but he felt lazy. So I brought Shaykh Uthman Farouk to kind of get the tiger out of him and plant the seed again and go crazy. And from this, alhamdulillah, he actually committed to a crazy goal. So just from this, he felt inspired and he actually learned a lot. So if you're a Muslim and you want to have bigger goals and achieve bigger things in your life, listen to this episode, listen to the advice, because bi'idhnillah ta'ala, it'll change your life. Let's get into the episode. Think about it.
I got a real question though. So if you were working 1 or 2 hours a day, what were you doing for 22, 23 hours a day? If you don't mind me asking, right? Like okay, if you're like reading Quran and stuff, keep that between you and Allah. But I know you weren't reading Quran for 23 hours a day.
No, yeah, I guess. But like, I feel like I don't have like a strict structure or a goal, like you said.
Alright.
Like I've never thought
So
about.
like you wake up, you eat breakfast.
Yeah, it's a bit like meaningless. No, but of course there's still my religious aspect.
Alright, so just salah and stuff, right? No problem. But I mean, you don't pray 23 hours, right? Unless you're making some qiyam al-layl that are, mashallah, nahari wal layli, right? So what do you do? Like, I'm just genuinely curious because for me, time is such a problem. Like, I am constantly double booked. Like, I am constantly, like, every minute of my life is, like, double needed, right? So I just cannot, like, if I didn't have to work, right, a regular job, right? Every minute of that would be in Dawah, right? So I'm trying to understand what you do with your time. Do you play like Pokemon cards?
I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know actually what I do.
Yeah.
I feel like
Do you play video games? If you don't mind me asking, are you a COD, Fortnite?
I played a bit, but
Not that much.
You scroll on TikTok, scroll for.
No, I don't. YouTube I watch like videos,
Yeah.
but nowhere near for like.
Doom scroll or no?
Nah, not really.
Man, you're a
What
good
do you
guy.
do?
Yeah,
You
what do
sit
you
down,
do?
look at the floor?
You watch
Yes, I
paint
spend
dry?
A lot of time with like family.
Alright.
Probably the little-
I'm sure your family gets sick of you after that long a time. I mean, you're a nice guy and everything, but I'm sure they're like, the mom's like, I got cooking to do. Can you go do something else? I know if I was home 23 hours a day, my family would be like, okay. So,
I think that's a common thing with the younger generation, especially when they.
Really?
Yeah, especially when they were working and then they make enough money to quit his job. Like he quit his job 5 months ago, 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
long back.
then-
So he's in that phase where he was grafting so hard with his job. Now he's like, I can chill. The biggest thing I think is not what are you doing with your time. It's more what are you doing with your potential. Like if you can work 1-2 hours a day, 4 hours a day, make 40 grand a month, what could you do if you were working hard?
Yeah.
What would you do if you were working 8 hours a day? I'm not even saying go crazy 16 hours like you were doing before. Let's just be at least in the middle. Like there's very few people that max out their potential working 2 hours a day.
It's impossible.
So-
yeah.
That's the thing. And the biggest thing is look what you could do. See the benefit of you putting more efforts. Because if we just say, yo, Tani, go crazy,
Yeah,
and then you're
yeah.
like, but what for?
Yeah.
Set a goal, like genuinely, for example,
And that's the issue.
they gotta do 100,000 Quran. Imagine this. There's 100,000 people. Have you ever seen a full stadium playing football?
Yeah.
That's like, sometimes that's 50,000 people. 2 full stadiums of non-Muslims could read Quran thanks to you. But they can't because you're gonna work an hour a day. Like, think about it. A whole stadium is gonna stay kuffar.
Yeah.
If you graft, you buy the Quran, they're gonna read it. Maybe 10,000 people gonna become Muslim. Whatever prayers, Ramadan, Qiyamul Layl they do, you get the ajr because you introduce. Of course, Allah Azza wa Jalla is the one who guides, but you introduce them. It was through you.
Imagine, like in the UK, in the US, in Europe, how much Islamophobia we have right now, right? You got the EDL, you got Elon Musk, you got Trump, we got all this stuff, right? And the media is theirs, right? They control the media. You know who CEOs of most of those media companies, right? Imagine if you could take whatever, like let's say you work 8 hours a day and you make, whatever more than you're making now, and everything additional to your expenses you put towards the da'wah, we could change the face of, the information getting out there. We could help the people of Gaza, the people of Sudan, not just by giving them charity, but by changing the narrative, because one of the things that the West is very afraid of is the fact that social media has opened up the portal of what's really going on. And before, they would have all these kind of genocides, they would just sweep it under the rug and nobody would know because BBC and CNN and Fox
control the
wouldn't
media,
talk
yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
It was bought, right? It was owned by certain people. Fox was owned and made to put spin, right? But when those clips of children in Gaza, those clips of the people of Sudan, the people of India, the people of different places in Kashmir, and recently I just saw a video, in India where these Hindu Vita guys just attacked a masjid, and they were, masjid wasn't doing anything. These people were just sitting praying, old men. They were attacked. They were throwing stuff, knives and sticks, anyway, right? And that would have never been known, right? But people got it on video. Now people like us who have a platform, we can promote that and say, look what's really going on. You're calling Muslims these names, but look what's really going on, right? And that needs funding as well, because we don't put any money as OMF into SEO right now, right? Zero. But we get shadow banned, right? Like when we talk about Palestine, suddenly you see the video going, 50, 60,000 views in a few hours, and then it's like 7 views, So you see the shadow ban. But if we had funds and we had that goal, we could use SEO, we could use people that are good at that kind of a thing and promote those videos and show what's really going on. Make that a goal. Like, okay, I want to spend this much on SEO for Dawah. I want to spend this much on Quran. I want to go and help these many poor people in this Ramadan get food, right? You set yourself a goal, then you work for that goal and make it for the akhirah, right? Imagine, like he was saying, let's say you work hard 1 year. Let's say you work 6 hours a day. Oh my God, pushing yourself hard now, right?
It's 3 times more than he's doing, so
right? Yeah.
that's the first step.
And let's say you make I'm not even going to let's say you make £10,000 extra a month, right? Which is very simple.
Is that realistic? Like you spend your expenses and then you make an extra £10,000. Basically, throughout the whole year, you need to put 120 grand aside throughout the whole year.
Oh yeah, I think you meant extra on top of my current, like how much I'm getting paid.
So take your salary, provide for your family for a whole year,
Oh, of course, yeah.
and then you put 120 grand aside.
If I work 6 hours, yeah.
6 hours a day. Let's say 8 hours a day. Let's really push it, right? Right. So you make 120K extra pounds. You could fund a whole da'wah thing in South America. Right? Meaning from your funds, we could send a whole team. We could send all the Spanish Qur'ans.
Give him an example. How many people, get to the end, how many people could actually join Islam, bi'idhnillah, from that? A rough idea.
Roughly from a mission like that, where we would go and set up a masjid and we would get somebody to be an imam, at minimum 10,000, right?
Do you realize that's crazy? No. Pause. He doesn't realize it.
No.
10,000 people join Islam, and the angels, they're all taking notes. Joshua joined Islam on December 21st of 2026. Ajr, Tusaf. Ajr, Tani. Ajr, Tani. Imagine this, 10,000 people on Yawm al-Qiyamah. Imagine you made some sins. You were cooked, you're like, Allah musta'an, I need to ask for forgiveness. And then there's a huge mountain of good deeds that come. And you're like, what's this? I didn't do this. Yeah. And they're like, no, you donated so-and-so, he became Muslim. You donated so-and-so, he prayed. You donated so-and-so, his entire family became Muslim. Like, think about it. And then when you get lazy, imagine somebody taking that page of good deeds and just, your lazy self just wiping it away.
Yeah.
That's good, like, ways to think of it.
And think of it this way, right? When you get to Jannah, do you want to see Allah? Of course. Do you want to see Allah more? Right? Do you want to be closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Right? So that's the higher levels of Jannah, right? Meaning Jannah is beautiful for nobody in Jannah is not content, right? But there are levels. So if you're in Jannat al-Firdaus al-A'la, in the high Jannah, the arsh of Allah is your roof. Right? You see Allah the most, subhanahu wa ta'ala. You will imagine being next to the Anbiya. Imagine being neighbors with Dawood alayhi salam and Yusuf alayhi salam and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Imagine being in a Jannah that is close to where Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman and Ali radiallahu anhu, right? Imagine, right? So you want that, right? So then you want to strive for that. Now imagine if 10,000 people become Muslim because of you, for example, right? That's 10,000 individual, but then that's 10,000 families. And mashallah, Allahumma barak, the brothers of South America got kids, man. Them sisters, Allahumma barak, they be 10, 12 kids a family, right? You can change the face of that entire country, right? I mean, hundreds of thousands of people from their generations, everything good they do, Quran memorization, salah, siyam, their sadaqah, their da'wah in your hisab. I mean, it's like an ultimate pyramid scheme, except that it's not a scam. So
It's halal.
it's halal, you know, it's amazing, right?
Hasanat
I mean,
scheme.
Hasanat scheme. I mean, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is true to His promise, right? So imagine you go on the Day of Judgment and your scrolls are open, and you know there's like 10,000 Hajj, you know, 30 times memorize the Quran. You're like, Ya Allah, I didn't memorize it once. And Allah said, no, because of what you gave da'wah, I mean, the one who calls towards good gets the reward of the one who listens. The Hadith Sahih, right? So imagine all of that will go in your hisab. Then you can get to that higher levels of Jannah. You know, when you get on a plane, you could be in the back, in economy, and the little scrunched up next to the bathroom, or you could be in first class, right? It's not the same. Jannah is better than that, right? It's not just about being socially higher, but it's going to be at a place where you see Allah more, where you see the Anbiya, right? So you got to work hard in this life. I mean, this life is to accomplish that. This life is that test period, you know? I mean, I know you didn't go to uni, right, which is cool, but if you ever taken in high school, or I don't know, you guys call it O levels or A levels or whatever, right? You got tests, right? So you know, if it's a timed test, right? Like I took a test which was called the MCSE, Microsoft Certified Systems Engineer, and when I took it, very few people had it, and they used to have very strict testing. So you used to sit in a glass room, like a little box, and they had a camera, and they had a guy watching you. That's how strict they were, right? And it was timed. So when that timer went off, there was nothing but working on that test, because you knew that a timer would go out and you wouldn't get a chance again, you know. But an MCSE test you could take again. It would take you another year, whatever at the time, but you could. But this life, you can't take it again. And that timer, you don't know when it's going to go off. So that's how focused you have to be in this life.
And on that point, I know you're deeping it, and he spoke about university. There's the story we mentioned in one of the episodes with Urwa, one of the companions, who he earned most of he was very good at business. He was specifically a business owner. You know the story where the Prophet ﷺ gave him a dinar, told him go buy a sheep. He went and bought a sheep, bought two sheep, sold one, came back with a dinar and a sheep, and gave both to the Prophet ﷺ. Prophet ﷺ knew that he had good business acumen. From the money he made, he managed to fund the dawah, fund projects, so that the Prophet ﷺ and the people who were more focused on spreading dawah and on the deen could do their own thing. Without those kind of funding from him, they wouldn't be able to do as much. So you see how you have different modules when you're in university, different curriculums. There's science, there's some guys who are going to do physical jobs. You might be feeling like you're doing great, because in comparison to other people, if you look at everyone else in terms of money, like I'm doing good. But if they give everyone else your potential, how would they be doing? And you're in your own curriculum. So the guy who's a hafid al-Quran and who's doing good but he's not making money, you might think you're better than him because you're making money. And he's maybe you're making £10,000 a month, he's making 1,000, you're like, yeah, I'm doing better in life than him. Maybe his potential was placed in da'wah. Maybe his potential was placed in learning Quran. And your potential was placed in making money so you could help them. So he has his potential in da'wah, you have your potential in business. If you compare everyone on the same level, which is business, of course you're doing better. But you'll be compared on the actions you had compared to the potential you had, compared to the chances Allah will give you. So if you look at it that way, you realize I'm actually doing good for myself, because I'm doing good here in comparison to them. But if I look at it as, it's kind of like asking a guy who studied science about history. You're like, yeah, he doesn't know history, he's not good. No, his field is history. Your field is science. His field is da'wah, your field is business. They're going to judge you on your field. They're going to say, we gave you this potential, what did you do with it? And then you look at it like, wow. And the guy who was easier to memorize Quran or who was easier to make da'wah, they're not going to look at his business and ask him how much da'wah he funded or how much money he gave to charity or what. No, they look at what he did with the da'wah and with his memory and what he did with it.
All right, let's set goals now, man. I'm all about action.
I have a question on this.
Go ahead.
Like, of course, like we're assuming my potential business, but like, how would you balance this with, like, I guess, deen then? Because then, let's say I do more, I think obviously one more, like, charity and stuff.
Right.
But like, where's my own, like...
Of course. So, I mean, you have 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
How many hours do you sleep?
8.
Oh my God, you
Let's
sleep 8 hours a day.
Let's be nice. Let's not full crash out. Khalas, leave him 8 hours of sleep. There's 16 hours left.
8 hours, mashallah, Allahumma. And how old are you? Why do you need 8 hours of sleep at 23?
Real quick, if you're a Muslim working in 9 to 5 and you're tired that your job is getting in the way of you practicing your deen, you're tired of rushing your prayers at work, you're tired that your income doesn't allow you to give your family the life they deserve, or you just don't feel happy overall, if that sounds anything like you, we have a solution. We personally helped over 1,000 Muslims who are in the exact same situation that you're in right now through our mentorship program. Muslims who now made hijrah and now alhamdulillah live in a Muslim country. Muslims who now make 10K a month and can provide for their families. Muslims who overall don't have to worry about bills anymore. So if that sounds interesting and you want to apply for our mentorship program, you can check out the link below this video. Our team will reach out to you to see if we can help you out. If we can help you out, we'll help you get started with the program. If we can't help you, we'll still send you some free resources so you can get started on your own. So either way, we'll help you out. So make sure you apply with the link below and we'll see you on the other side. Assalamu alaikum.
I haven't slept 8 hours and I'm almost 50, bro. Anyway, never mind. All right. Okay, 8 hours. No, we're good. Adi. We'll give you 8 hours. How many hours are left?
16.
Good math. All right. 16 hours. Let's say you spend 4 hours with the family. You sit, you talk, you spend time with your mom. You're not married, but inshallah you'll be married. Spend some time with the wife,
There's 2 hours
with
left.
the kids. All right. So 4 hours there. So how many hours do you have left? 12 hours left. Okay. 12 hours. Let's take 6 hours for work. How much do you have left? 6 hours. 6 hours dedicate to your own personal development. 6 hours every day is more than you spend right now on memorizing Quran or Hadith and things, right? So 6 hours a day. Even if you take 2 more hours out of that, you take 2 more hours for whatever you want to doom scroll something. Inshallah you don't, but right? I'm a realist, right?
Yeah.
So 4 hours. If you spend 4 hours every single day on memorizing Quran, on learning the Deen, you will, inshallah, be ahead of most people, right? But consistently. The thing with the Deen is istiqamah, like consistency, right? Or move your time around a little bit. Let's say you give 5 hours to work and 5 hours to Deen. You balance it out, right? There you go, right? You can do that. Even if you then become more productive and make your work 4 hours and make your Deen as you're moving forward 6 hours, you can do it. But then dedicate that. The problem right now is even if you only spend an hour or 2 hours on work, you're not spending the other 22 hours on Deen. So make a schedule. I have a schedule every day of my life. I don't have a minute unscheduled, right? So every day, and I take account. Even last night, I was in the haram, we just finished the tawaf and we're waiting for Fajr. I sat there and I thought, okay, what have I done today? What have I done for the Deen? What did I not do today? What should I have done? What's my plan tomorrow? How am I going to do more, right? I take account of myself, right? I've got scheduling that my son does with some of my family that goes over my Deen, meaning I have a schedule to be here in this country, this time, right? Then I have another brother who does my schedule when I'm in San Diego, okay? In San Diego, when you're here, this meeting, this work thing, this property thing, this you got to take care of, right? Then I have another brother, may Allah reward him, in Canada. He does like bigger level stuff. Okay, you need to focus on this country. We need to focus on this World Cup. Here's the bigger scheduling. This is where you gotta make sure that you don't book anything at this time, right? So schedule your time. First thing, make your goal. Okay, so let's make your goal. All right, so you're doing 20,000. How many you doing?
Well, like, when's this go up to? Like, what's the deadline?
There's no deadline.
I'll give you the framework. I always have that because most of the students disregard the goal. So the first thing you want to ask yourself, what would be a thing that I could do that would help people and that would be beneficial? Either that's your family, you're not in this case anymore because you're past that. That would be towards, it's either your family or your close relatives, or then it goes to actually the ummah and other people. I feel like where you're at now, both of the first ones are gone.
I feel like the second one I've kind of neglected. Not obviously, not like that, but they live in Pakistan, obviously.
Your family or your friends?
I know, like relatives.
Okay.
Obviously, my family's in England.
Yeah.
But of course, you have relatives. They're obviously not, because in Pakistan,
Yeah.
I guess they're quite a lot more poorer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Difficult
But
situation.
not like, not fully difficult.
Yeah.
I'm saying, I guess a little bit would obviously maybe help.
Yeah.
Do they have a local masjid, for example?
Yeah,
Okay.
I haven't been to that area to be honest, but Pakistan, there's quite a few, I guess.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I mean, the thing is, don't just throw money at problems. Remember that, right? Because the local masjid is corrupt, for example, right? Then you're just helping corruption or spreading bid'ah and things, right? But make a goal, okay? So let's say, like Ustad Adnan Rashid and those brothers, Adnan Rashid from the UK is he's speaking at Speaker's Corner and stuff. He's well-known brother.
Must have seen it.
I'm sure you have. Yeah, there's a lot of brothers there that they live in Pakistan part-time now. From the UK, but they're back and forth, right? So we can speak to him, tell him, okay, this is the area, this is the place. What can we do to develop this area? Right? Make a goal. Maybe they don't have a good Quran memorization place, not the kind of madrasa where they just abuse kids and stuff, but the madrasa where they can really develop kids, right? Maybe we can say, okay, look, that area needs more business, right? So we set up some business. I'll give you an example, right? Us from Peshawar side, right? We saw that there was a lot of women whose husbands had become shuhada and things like this in Afghanistan during the earlier times. Older women with children, they had nothing, right? So we don't want them begging. We don't want to just give them money because then they're just gonna, money gets spent, right?
That's what I was kind of thinking.
Yeah. So we set up a thing where we bought sewing machines, right? Like I forgot how many we bought, like 1,000, like a lot of sewing machines. And then we set up a business for each one of them, right? Said, okay, look, we're going to give you a sewing machine, but it's not just to sew for your home, right? Now, set up cards, things that a lot of the women didn't know how to do, right? With their niqab and burqa, like not making them be haya and things, right? We told them, okay, set up a business. We'll get you a little area, right, next to your house or wherever, a little room, right? It doesn't cost anything. And all you got to do now is let the women know in your neighborhood that you sew clothes. And women would come, put their orders, and they would sew the clothes, and they became a means of risk for them, right? So now, your area, Azad Kashmir and so on, we figure out what do they need, right? And we make a goal. Okay, I'm going to work a few extra hours a day, but that's my goal. I'm going to set up a hospital there. I'm going to do this. I'm going to set up industry there. I'm going to get them a means to do business. I'm going to educate them on cybersecurity, for example, right? Whatever, or get them solar panels because electricity is a problem, So make some goals. We'll make some solid goals, right?
Let's do this. I have experience with giving people goals. One thing I've seen that works really well is compounding goals. When you reach the first one, it's easier to motivate to the next one and the next one. Let's do one that's easy now that you could commit to. Because I know doing the thing with the masjid or finding, people to give them work or setting up businesses for people is a great goal. But if you can't see how it would work specifically, it makes it difficult. It adds friction to you doing the goal. The Qur'ans, are they all funded yet?
No.
I think that's the easy one to commit to. Would you like to buy some Qur'an for non-Muslim people?
Yeah.
Great. How much does it cost for one Qur'an?
So it's about $1.50 for shipping. So about $1.50.
So $1 for the Qur'an, 50 cents for the shipping. Commit to a certain amount of Qur'ans that you'd like to give, and it's literally half the price. So it's times 1.5, and that's how much money you need to donate. And that's every single person who's not Muslim who will receive a Qur'an thanks to you, and it's in your ajr, whatever they read from it, whatever they learn from it about Islam, whoever enters Islam, etc. That's you spreading the book of Allah. Is that a good goal?
Yeah.
Do you think that's a good cause? Great. Now, get yourself out of your comfort zone. What do you feel like you could commit to? Think about it. I don't want to expose you, but just think about it. Take like 20 seconds.
It's a niyyah. Remember, Allah gives you on your intention. We're not gonna come and repo your car.
Even if you do one Quran, that's $1.50. So people who are watching, there's nothing. Just look at something. For now, if you're doing nothing, one Quran is better. So think, what can I do? And that's the first step. It doesn't mean it's the last time you'll donate. Think about something that would motivate you. Don't just be lazy. We know Allahumma barik, IMA is working well. Pick a goal and sit with it. Think about it. Get out of your comfort zone. Right outside of your comfort zone, pick that.
Okay.
You got that number?
So I had a number before, and I guess I'll play with it.
Okay. Can you share it?
First 5K, that Quran, so 7.5K.
Yeah.
And I guess 7K, so what's that, 10K?
Okay. Do you think that would put you? Is it comfortable?
I've never spent anywhere near this.
Okay. That's a great first goal then. Now the second thing after setting up a goal, we set a time frame. What would be the time frame where you could donate 7,500 Qur'ans?
Oh, I was thinking that now.
Now let's do it.
Khalas.
Transfer, what do you
We'll talk about that inshallah.
But think about it. Now see. What did you just manage to do now?
Donate?
How many Qur'ans?
7,000?
How many people are going to be able to read it?
7,000?
How did you manage to give 7,000 Qur'ans right now?
IMA?
Huh? No, but just specifically for yourself. I want you to realize the impact of your actions that led you to this. Is it good to give 7,000 Qur'ans? Why were you not able to do it a year before?
I feel like I've never like deeply reflected. Maybe
Okay.
that's my issue. Like I don't.
If I go back to 25 years ago, would you have the money to give away 7,000 Qur'an like that? Right. So now that you see it, do you realize the efforts you put in, what it allowed you to do? Now think about it. What if today you could just have done 50,000 Qur'ans? How would that have been? I'm not saying what you're doing is bad. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But that's to show you the potential. That's a great first step. You managed to Allahu Barak on and I just say like, okay, 7,000, let's do it. Imagine now, next year inshallah, maybe you do 20,000, 30,000, 50,000. If you think about it, that's going to compound to a point where you forget about it, and on the Day of Judgment you'll see the amount of good deeds. And that's the main thing I'm seeing with you, because I've trained you for over a year. You work very well if you have a goal. If you have something in your mind, you know, I'm working towards this. When you were working toward quitting your job, you were hungry. When you quit your job, you're working towards making enough money so you don't have to go back to it. I remember your whole story, to change you from the beginning. Then you're like, now I'm actually good. I got enough money so I quit my job. I don't have to work anymore because I can pay my bills. Now I'm chilling.
Yeah.
And I told you, when you pass your personal expenses and your family, you get comfortable. But the potential Allah gave you can help others. Here, there's literally people you probably would never meet, but there's humans on the planet who, thanks to what you will do, will receive a Quran and maybe enter Islam. Like, deep it. And if you didn't do it, then there's only a certain amount they can give. If there's 100,000, there's 100,000. That means the 100,001 person, they won't get it. They'll be like, sorry, we sold out. But because you just did something, they can now have an extra 7,000 people. Do you see it? That's the goal. Next time, set a bigger goal. Do it now, do this. Set another goal for maybe 3 months from now, 6 months from now. What can I do 6 months from now? Can I do another 20,000? Can I do, this time, actually, I did Quran, let me do a well. Maybe there's people in Africa who literally can't drink water. Alhamdulillah, we could just order, we could just got tea out of nowhere. There's people who literally can't drink, like they don't have water, clean water. A well costs maybe $200 to $500 to dig. Maybe do 10 wells, 50 wells. You see? See it that way. Not only you'll have barakah in your business with charity and so forth, but you feel a lot more fulfilled. Because I've been through this phase. I told you you'll have 6 to 12 months where you're comfortable. The goals you'll have to set after are for other people and for the akhirah.
Okay.
You're chasing so far for yourself. Bi'idhnillah ta'ala, with the skills you acquired for the rest of your life, bi'idhnillah, may Allah preserve you. I don't think you'll have to go back to a job and working. Unless you find bigger goals, you're going to stay lazy your whole life. But if you start now with actual bigger goals and goals that are meaningful, a few years from now, maybe there's 10,000 people who read the Quran. Maybe there's 1,000 wells in Africa that are there thanks to you and to your name. And that's you. Now think, I'm pretty sure you love your mother. Does she have sadaqah jariyah in her name? She raised a great son, right? Allahumma barik, who now makes good money. Don't you think she'd be happy if she had another 10,000 Quran given in her name? Because that's for you, right? What about her? What about when you have kids and so forth? You see it?
Yeah.
And is that creating the drive? Like, okay, I'm gonna get to work.
Yeah, like
All right, so let's set your next year goal. So this year you're doing 7,000.
yeah.
Next year, how many are you gonna do?
Well, the
Inshallah.
number I clicked, I don't know because you kept repeating
Yeah.
20,000, but
20,000.
I like
I haven't
it.
like
That's it.
sat
I like
and
that.
thought, but I
You-
guess that was
Look, the Prophet ﷺ said, deliberate, contemplate on every action except for the deen. When there is something good for the deen, don't overthink it. Right? Because your niyyah is with Allah. You know, if you make the niyyah, I want to be hafiz of Quran, right? And you try. You get a qari, you sit down with them, you take the mushaf, you're reading every night, you set your daily murajah and all of that, right? Your sabak and your manzil and all that people do, right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written your life to end the next day. Right? Allah will raise you on the day of judgment as a qari of the Quran, hafid. Why? Because the niyyah of the mu'min is better, khayr min amalihi. Rasulullah said that the niyyah of the believer is even better than his actions. So make your niyyah. Don't underestimate it. Allah will put barakah in it. If 10 years ago or whatever, somebody had told you that you're going to make, let's say 10K a month working an hour a day, you would have never believed it. You said, no way. Right? Hard for me to believe. But you're a living example of it. You're able to accomplish it. Khalas, 20,000 it is next year. You ready? And again, it doesn't have to be the OMF. This is not a fundraising, right? This is for you. Even for us, when we get the Quran, we share them. Right now we have the World Cup coming up. And the brothers from IRA, the brothers from Clear Islam, we told them, all that you need that we have, we're ready to share with everybody. Even with Yusuf Estes' organization, we gave them 50,000, Quran last time in our shipment, free. Because we're all working together for the goal for the akhirah, inshallah.
So that's it. Goal set.
Goal set.
How do you feel now?
I feel like I got like a stronger purpose. Obviously, the main purpose like judgment and stuff, but like now I feel like it's more like
Focus.
like you see the path in a way. Because before it was like do your prayers, do good deeds, like generic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I never like sit down, contemplate, and make it like specific. I think I had this issue, and I spoke to Aman about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he discussed it with you. Like a few months ago when I first joined the inner circle, he was saying like set goals, because he noticed I don't have goals.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, mindless.
Yeah.
So I think now like obviously there's a focus, and
Nice.
there's a,
You feel like you got at the end of the road and then there's a cliff and there's nothing. And it's like, what am I doing
Before.
now? There's no more. Yeah, before.
Yeah.
And now you just pave the road
yeah,
for the
yeah.
next goal.
We
Yeah.
just built you a bridge off the cliff.
Amazing knowledge. No, but think about it.
Mhm.
Now you're deeping it. You see, the biggest thing I think you need to see is the impact of your actions, and the impact of your inaction.
Mhm.
Maybe today, and I'm sorry if I make you feel bad. Maybe today you could have done 20,000 Quran already instead of doing it next year.
Mhm.
But you see all the hours when you sat down and were like, "Khalas, I'm gonna chill. I already made money."
Mhm.
That's if I was in that situation now, I said, okay, Sheikh, let's do 20,000. I'm like, yeah. There's a few days I got lazy. Maybe I could have done 25,000, 30,000, 50,000, but I got lazy. Now I'm seeing it. Allah musta'an. That's like 10,000 people that are gonna miss out because I got lazy. Why don't I do more? And that drives you. And I'm like, khalas, next time let's do more. And every time you're gonna feel lazy, be like, nah, bro. Imagine, like, picture it. They're out there. They are the last minute of the stand. There's 2 Qur'ans left. There's 3 people coming. Here's one for you. Here's one for you. Hey, I want to learn about Islam. Sorry, Sheikh. It's sold out.
We were just in UC Davis in the Bay. It literally happened. Give me a Quran, suddenly we're like, no more Qurans to give out, right?
That's an example. Just think about it. Think about another one. There's a family in Africa.
Mhm.
They're out there. They want to drink. The kid is 5 years old, going to his mom. Mom, can I please get water? I'm thirsty. And she's looking at him. She's like, we ain't got nothing. And there could be a well dug over there, but people got lazy. That's how you think about it. That's just with charity, because that's an
Yeah.
easy way of setting goals.
Mhm.
The next steps I can tell you. Inshallah, when you achieve it and you see the impact, yani for example, inshallah, you're going to donate the Quran, you're going to see people receiving it. The smiles on their face, the hasanat you're going to get. And then you're like, okay, that's what I'm working for now. And I'm not saying donate Quran for the rest of your life and that's your only job, but you see the benefit.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, money is actually a tool. Like I made money, it was in my bank account, now I gave it and it did something. And I got hasanat, which means on the day of judgment, may Allah accept it, I have more hasanat. On the day where I'm desperate for hasanat, for benefits, for Allah to be happy, I'm more equipped.
Mhm.
Think about it. It's like you have a bigger armor, and then a bigger one, and a bigger one. And you come more and more loaded. That's what you're doing.
Mhm.
On the day where everybody, the only thing they would want to go is go back and pray to rak'ah just to get hasanat.
Yeah.
You'll be like, alhamdulillah, I did more. Now I have more. And that's everything you're doing now.
Every day you got to think, okay, how many Qur'ans am I going to be giving out by making this extra effort today? And I'm telling you, people don't realize the impact. There's a place called Chiapas in Mexico. Let's go. But in that area, 300 families became Muslim. That whole area has changed now.
Mhm.
And now, in Mexico, when they talk about the issue of Palestine and things, in those areas, you see the most support for Palestine.
Mhm.
Why? Because now you have changed the demographics on the ground. So in the long run, this can change the situation of the ummah. Aim high, inshallah. Good to see you, brother. Good motivation.
time as well.
Barakallah feek. Pleasure.
Because now you're feeling the emotions, the hype. If you just go and get back to your routine, you're going to fall back and it's going to fade away.
Yeah. I was thinking.
Set it as an actual goal.
Yeah,
That's why I said make it out of your comfort zone. Because if it's just the money, then khalas, you can live with the rest of the money you have. But set it as an actual goal. And the last advice I have for you is see the benefit of your actions. And you can even do one today if you want to.
Mhm.
Is your hotel near the haram?
Nah, it's like 15 minutes away, right?
Anyway, wherever you live, there's probably people around it. You could just buy food for them. As simple as that. you would see the benefit of, okay, alhamdulillah, I have this wealth. There's probably a time in your life where you couldn't afford to just spend money randomly. Maybe you could go to a spot, you know, when the Pakistani workers, for example, after like construction and everything, they would go and just eat. You could go there, silently speak to the guy, between you and Allah, no one knows, just be like, give me the bill for all the guys, let me just clear it out and say, whoever's left, it's on me. Think about this. And then you're like, why can I not do this more times? Why can't I go to a bigger restaurant? Like, think about this genuinely. And then you see the ajr. I'm not here specifically, we spoke about the Quran and the donation, it's public, etc., to motivate people. There's actions you're going to say to motivate people, and there's actions you're going to keep to yourself between you and Allah for the good deeds. Have a balance. This is an example we gave you so that you have a goal. Everything else, keep it private. And always keep seeing the benefit, not just worldly, like I'm feeling good, because you feel good when you give sadaqah. Think about the ajr. And that way it keeps you always on the straight path. Hamza, you next?
I'm like, I'm already motivated. I'm ready. 40,000.
Nah, alhamdulillah, I've already set my goal. It's just to build more masjids. Yeah, more masjids, more water wells. I've already started with water wells, but it's just getting to that level. That's what's kind of motivated me to get to that. Yeah.
Real quick, if you're a Muslim working in 9 to 5 and you're tired that your job is getting in the way of you practicing your deen, you're tired of rushing your prayers at work, you're tired that your income doesn't allow you to give your family the life they deserve, or you just don't feel happy overall, if that sounds anything like you, we have a solution. We personally helped over 1,000 Muslims who are in the exact same situation that you're in right now through our mentorship program. Muslims who now made hijrah and now alhamdulillah live in a Muslim country. Muslims who now make 10k a month and can provide for their families. Muslims who overall don't have to worry about bills anymore. So if that sounds interesting and you want to apply for our mentorship program, you can check out the link below this video. Our team will reach out to you to see if we can help you out. If we can help you out, we'll help you get started with the program. If we can't help you, we'll still send you some free resources so you can get started on your own. So either way, we'll help you out. So make sure you apply with the link below and we'll see you on the other side. Assalamu alaikum.